Hello everyone, this is Chinmoy, your biology teacher, back again with a new episode of some sample questions of sense organ I. I think you have gone through the previous sample question papers. Please go through it, and if you have not gone through, I'll be putting the link in the description box as well as above. Go through it and please do practice to get a very good marks in your ICSE 2023. So let us start with sense organ I. Few important questions I am going to discuss today. Now, in this first slide, we are going to discuss about a diagrammatic representation of a defect of human eye, which has been corrected using a suitable lens. Now, first, when we are studying the diagram, after studying the diagram, we are going to answer these three questions. So, once we start studying the diagram, we will see that what lens is used in correcting the whatever defect is there. So when we see this convex lens is used, this is a convex lens, so we can find out that this problem is hypermetropia. So identify the defect is hypermetropia. Okay, it is very easy, it is hypermetropia, or we can, in other words, we can say that long-sightedness. Okay, so it is hypermetropia or long-sightedness. So mention two reasons for the given defect. So what will be the two reasons why this happens? Because the eyeball shortens. So shortening of the eyeball, or the lens has become too thick. Either the eyeball has shortened or the lens had become too thin. So lens has become thin or the eyeballs have shortened. So these are the two main reasons for the defect. Now, if we tell you that label the four parts, so in the book in which you are practicing, please do practice this diagrammatic representation with these answers. These are very common in your ICSE exam, so they are coming every now and then in every exams. So now label the parts 1 to 4. So first is the convex lens. This one is the convex lens. The second part is the lens of your eyes, which is either it is very thin before it, as this hypermetropia is there, it should be corrected by using the convex lens. Now the third one is the scleral part region, and the fourth one is where the image is formed, or the yellow spot, we can say. So these are the four things which should be labeled. Now next comes the next question. So you should label the four parts. You write 1, 2, 3, 4, and you write the answers over here when you are practicing. Okay. Now here the next question is similar to the previous one. Given below is a diagram depicting a human eye, defect of a human eye. Answer the questions that follow. Now you just see the diagram, observe it. So in the previous one, the image is formed behind the retina. In this one, the image is formed in front of the retina, because and the blurred image is formed. It is the light is focusing in front of the retina. Now, what is the scientific term and how can it be corrected? So the scientific term of it is myopia. Previous one, it was hypermetropia. This is myopia. We all know that. Just a quick revision. It is also called short-sightedness. Okay. Mention one possible reason. Any one reason is either the eyeball is elongated, either the eyeball will be elongated, or what will happen? The lens will become thick. So in hypermetropia, the lens becomes thin, and in this the lens becomes thick. Okay. Now what type of lens can be used to correct this defect? Here we are using the concave lens. Previously hypermetropia convex lens, and here we are using the concave lens. Now in this question, see, this question is a bit different. They have not given the difference between hypermetropia and myopia. So give one difference between the following on the basis of what is given in the bracket. So the cause of the defect. So in the previous one only we have told if we are taking myopia here and hypermetropia here. So what are the topics we have in the previous two diagrams only? We have told what is happening here. In myopia we can see the eyeball is elongated, and where is here the eyeball is shortening. So shortening of the eyeball. Okay, the first point. Now the second point, what we can say, the lens has become thickened or curved, and here the lens has become, so based on the depending on the defect we should tell Now in myopia, the lens has become thickened or curved, but in hypermetropia, what is it is happening? The lens has become too thin. So lens has become thin. Okay, so these are the major two differences on the basis of defect. Now let us move on to the next. Now here in this question, correct and rewrite the statement. So they have given you this statement. Correct and rewrite the statement by changing the biological term that is underlined in the statement. So the biological term that is underlined is the retina. So the question is, the part of the eye which can be donated from a clinically dead person, is it the retina? So what is it? Now actually let us just recall about the transplantation of eye. So once we recall the eye transplantation, we can see that generally which part is transplanted. So only one portion of the eye is transplanted. That is not the entire eye which can be transplanted. So when someone has an eye transplant, what is it doing? They get volunteer to the cornea. They get a volunteer cornea. So cornea is being transplanted, which is the clear exterior component of the eye. Okay, so the corneal transplant, what they demand? That they don't demand only the retina. The corneal transplant, when the cornea is transplanted, they demand the working retina with the optic nerve. If the optic nerve as well as the retina both are not intact, in good condition, then it will not transmit the impulses to the brain. So optic nerve should be in a good condition. So in case of corneal transplant, it demands a working retina and an optic nerve. So the thing is that working means what? So till the person died, he should have a functional eye. That is, he was not a blind person. You can't transplant eye of a blind person because they don't have a functional optic nerve as well as retina. Otherwise, they would be able to see. So this is why it is the cornea. The part cornea is to be transplanted to get a functional eye transplant. So this is the answer should be written in this form. So it should be replaced by cornea. Okay, so the underlined part should be replaced by cornea. Now this same question we have discussed earlier with a different set of diagram and with a different set of questions. I think you can write this. You just see the diagram first and you see which type of lens they have used to correct the defect. So diagram below depicts a defect of a human eye which has been corrected by using a suitable lens. So generally we all know that concave lenses are used in case of correcting the myopia. So name the defect is myopia. Same questions, but the diagram is a bit different. Just observe it. Which type of lens has been used for correction? So we know that concave lens has been used. Where would the image have been formed if the above lens was not used? So if the above lens was not used, the image would be formed in front of the retina. So the image, the light is focusing, so the blurred image is formed. So blurred image formed in front of the retina. So blurred image formed in front of the retina. Is it clear? So this is same type of question I am discussing so that you should get the answer correct. Now here let us see, here the question is, what is the shape of the lens for near vision? Near vision means short-sightedness or myopia. So in myopia, it is near vision is myopia, right? So short-sightedness, where we are using the lens that is concave for correcting that. And here distant vision is the far-sightedness, or we can say that it is hypermetropia. So it is hypermetropia, and here we are using the convex lens for correction. So these two are the lenses. So why the blind spot is considered as an area of no vision? Why? We know that in blind spot, what is there? Blind spot, yellow spots is the correction, is the spot of where at the back of the eyeball where maximum light sensitive cells are there. But in the blind spot, why is it called the area of no vision? Because no light receptors are there. Okay, so no light receptors in this area. Okay, so no image is formed. Since as no light receptors are there, no image is formed, so blind spot is an area of no image formation. So it is an area of no vision. So it's an area of no vision. So is it clear? Now name the two structures in the eye which is responsible for changing the shape of the lens. So shape of the lens, how come they change? So there are two supporting structures which are holding the lens. Okay, so what are changing the lens? We can say the suspensory ligament, the ciliary muscles. The lens contraction, elongation and thickening, they depend on the ligaments which are holding the lens. So what are the ligaments holding the lens? This lens, we can say that these are the ciliary muscle and the suspensory ligaments. We can say they are the suspensory ligaments or the ciliary muscles. So these two are helping the lens to be in shape. So how are rods different from cones? How can we say that rods are different from cones? Because rods contain the pigment rhodopsin and cone contains the pigments iodopsin. So main importance on depending on the pigment, you can say that rod cells are sensitive to dim light. So rod cells are sensitive to dim light, whereas we can say that cone cells are always sensitive to bright light. So they are sensitive to bright light. So they are having a pigment called rhodopsin and they are having a pigment called iodopsin. So this is just a quick revision of your eye sense organ which I am doing. I think you all will go through the lesson properly with a few questions which I have discussed. There are many more questions you need to go through it. So these are few important pattern of question which I am giving you. These are the sample questions. I think that it will be beneficial for you. Please do go through it and please do subscribe to my channel so that whatever updates I am putting per lesson, whatever I am revising, it will be benefit for you only to get good marks in your ICSE 2023. So please do practice a lot, study well, concentrate and make a separate copy wherever, whatever I am posting, just make a copy, go through it, write it, practice it so that the day before the exam you can just go through it and it will be a nice revision for you all. Thank you.